No one in Charlotte should feel unsafe about getting to work, school, or home to their family.
Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Who Cares? So there was Mayor Vi Lyles of Charlotte. Isn't she so insightful? You know, these comments from October 3rd came far too late to save the life of Iryna Zarutska. So why speak about safety now after years of silence as mayor? Why does it always take a death before politicians act? Mayor Lyles has shown no leadership, no management ability, no sound judgment, and no real grasp of the issues facing the city. When she speaks, it's as if she's reciting lines she doesn't even understand.
We have been working with the White House, our federal officers and assistants, and all of this that we want to do. We definitely want to be sure that we are taking the right steps forward.
She's been working with the White House? Well, that's laughable. The only reason she's suddenly cooperating is because federal officials warned that Charlotte could lose funding, and President Trump has already talked about sending in the National Guard if the city can't get control of its streets.
We've expanded the jurisdiction of our transit security provider. Professional Police Services, PSS, known to most of us, so that they can patrol more of our transit facilities and adjacent areas.
We expanded the jurisdiction of PSS, she says. Really? If the city can't manage the staff and responsibilities PSS already has, why on earth would you expand their reach, Madam Mayor?
CATS has been able to add additional patrol units, including bike teams and urban terrain vehicles.
Bike teams and urban vehicles? Where exactly? I ride the light rail 6 times a week and haven't seen a single one. Are these real or just another case of the emperor's new clothes?
Everyone who uses the system needs to pay their fair share.
Everyone needs to pay their share, the mayor says. Well, I've raised this at every MTC meeting I've attended. Most of the problem on the light rail come from the homeless and those struggling with mental illness, many of whom can't afford a ticket. Enforcing one clear rule, no ticket, no ride, would go a long way towards keeping trouble off the system. So why did it take a death for the city to finally see that? It only underscores what I said earlier, the mayor's complete inability to manage this city.
I'm Rusty Knox. I'm the Mayor of Davidson. I also serve as Vice Chair of the MTC. And I want to tell you, public transportation is safe in Mecklenburg County. I am from Davidson. I'm one of those rare people that was born and raised in Davidson. My wife is from Charlotte. We come to Charlotte often. We are on the Blue Line regularly. I take the express bus to Charlotte for meetings. I've never felt unsafe. The tragic death of Iryna Zarutska was something that was spontaneous and probably unpreventable.
Rusty Knox, where do they find this guy? Anyone with half a mind can see the light rail has serious safety issues. He claims to be a regular rider, but his next comments make it clear he's just like Vi Lyles, completely clueless.
For me, and I've been riding public transit since I got elected in 2017, and I've always felt safe. And I think most of us that use public transit are of the same mindset. We've always felt safe until August 22nd.
Now he doubles down on that last statement, saying people felt safe until August 22nd. Well, they only thought they were safe. It was unsafe then, and it's still unsafe now. He says Iryna's death was unpreventable. My God, there was no security in that car. If there had been real security on that train or the platform, maybe the carless Brown never even gets on. And let's be honest, if Brown had been locked up after his 14 previous arrests, she would still be alive. Because there's no real bail enforcement, because the mayor can't lead, he was on that train with a knife. And while City Hall is busy calling this a one-off, we've already seen another homicide near a light rail stop since August 22nd. This isn't under control. It's getting people killed.
Safety has to be paramount. It has to be the most important thing besides just making sure that the trains run on a 10-minute cycle and the buses run on a 15-minute cycle. Those are just givens.
Say what? The trains run on a 10-minute cycle? What an idiot. If he actually rode the light rail regularly, he'd know that isn't true. Trains run about every 20 minutes from early morning until around 3 p.m., then every 15 minutes until about 5:30, back to 20 minutes until a little after 8, and finally every 30 minutes until service ends around 2 a.m.
PPS continues to increase staffing, with personnel now at approximately 200 staff hired and available.
That's not true. PSS isn't fully staffed, not even close. From what I've seen, there's still a long way from it.
So as we have discussed before, PSS or PPS, doing business as PSS, continues to increase staffing to get to the full contracted staffing amount by the end of the year. Those efforts are going well, and they are onboarding and training staff as we speak, and they are on track to be able to fully staff the contract by the end of this calendar year.
And there it is. He admits it. Given their track record so far, I seriously doubt they'll hit their staffing numbers by the end of 2025.
All of these personnel are backed up and supported by 24 FTE or 966 hours per week of off-duty Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department officers.
The numbers may look better for the off-duty CMPD officers, but they're still short by 36 hours. Funny how what's said in a press conference doesn't quite match what's discussed in internal meetings. Take a look.
We also continue to offer off-duty police assignments for CMPD officers. We are seeing good participation for sign up for this work. These off-duty officers sign up to take the shifts that are offered, and we work directly with CMPD to shape those shifts and make those assignments, and we are seeing good participation. Last week, our last full week of reporting for the off-duty assignments had approximately 930 hours filled with CMPD officers.
The Charlotte-Mecklenburg Fraternal Order of Police actually sent a letter to city, state, and federal officials asking for help. And not just any help. They specifically mentioned bringing in the National Guard. In that letter, they called out what they describe as an ongoing failure of city and police leadership, a staffing crisis, and a violence crisis in Charlotte. They addressed it directly to Mayor Vi Lyles, among others. So, yes, the Fraternal Order of Police publicly requested federal assistance, including the National Guard. But city leaders, including the mayor, have said they have no plans to deploy the Guard. So here's her response when questioned on it.
Lyles, Hunter Signs here with Channel 9. I have a question for you in regards to the Fraternal Order of Police have requested that the National Guard now come to Charlotte after all of this and recent violent crime. Do you believe the National Guard should come to Charlotte?
I believe in Charlotte first and foremost, Hunter. I believe that we have the ability in this community, the number of people that are engaged now to make this a safer city is from every part of our community. It's from the business community, it's from our educational works and all of that. So what I believe is that given the time that we have to work with the White House and the other federal offices, that we will not need the Guard to come to Charlotte.
Her response to the question was that she believes in Charlotte. Well, if that's true, she needs to get off her ass and actually do something. Be proactive instead of reactive. Like I said earlier, she has no clue. Anyway, what do you think? Is Charlotte really safe? Does the mayor understand what's happening? Or is she completely out of touch? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're into this kind of content, hit like and subscribe.